Have you ever thought about buying real estate, but you weren't sure, hey, how do I even know what to offer on a property? Like, how do you even come to the correct purchase price to know if you're getting a good deal or not? Well, that's what I'm gonna show you today, is how to get to that purchase price so that you can make sure that you're getting a good deal, because as they say, you make your money, or I guess you could lose your money when you buy. So we wanna make sure that we do a good job on the front end. My name's Jaron Sustar. I'm also known as the finance cowboy in the social media space. I had 0 properties when I started out in 2018, and I scaled to a portfolio worth over $5 million in real estate in just 3 short years, and we continue to add more and more to the fold, while also giving tips and tricks to everybody who decides to land on our social media pages. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you exactly how to get to your purchase price. All right, so here is the formula I use when we're talking about rentals, not fix and flips, okay? We'll talk about those in a minute. Talking about rental properties. Here is the formula I put together when I'm trying to decide, okay, what do I need to buy this property at? It goes like this: ARV. ARV stands for after repair value. So what is the home going to be worth after it's repaired? We find this by looking on sites like Zillow or PropStream and seeing what recently sold homes are. If you're a newbie and you're not sure that you'll feel comfortable doing this, get with a realtor or an agent who is used to working with investors and tell them to pull you comps. You just want to see comparable homes in the area. If you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom rental, then you want to look at homes that have sold that are 3-bed, 2-baths. If you're looking for 2-bed, 2-bath, you look for that. And then have them do a market analysis for you to be able to pull a lot of the comps that have just sold in your area, so you know you'll get a good idea of what is the price per square foot that homes are going for in this area based on their condition. If they're really nice, if they've kind of been updated, if they're as is, not very nice, you know, what do we need to add and subtract if it has a garage? What do we need to add and subtract if it has a basement, right? And so if you don't know how to do those things yourself, I don't have time to do all of that and talk through all that in this video, but I would encourage you to get with a licensed real estate agent, because they'll be able to help you pull this first part of this formula, which is after repair value, okay? So once we have our after repair value, then we're gonna times it, okay, multiply it by 80%. All right, now, I wanted to let you guys know that this is not a hard number. This number could change. I base this number on whatever the bank will loan me. What is the loan to value percentage that the bank will loan me, okay? So the way I buy properties, and I don't want to get too in the weeds here, is I buy them in cash, and then I fix them up, I get a renter in place, and then I go and I refinance them with a bank and get them into a new stable long-term loan with the bank. I base this number right here, this second part of this equation, based on what percentage, after I've got a home that I've bought, rehabbed and rented out, and I go to get a mortgage on it with a bank now. Just bought it with cash, now I'm going to get a mortgage on it with a bank. What percentage of the new appraised value of that home, okay, will the bank lend me? The banks I work with say, hey, after you fixed it up, you got a renter in place and you want to get a loan with us, we'll loan you 80% of the new appraised value. And so that's where I come up with that number. If you work with a bank who says, hey, we'll only loan you 75% of the appraised value or 70% of the appraised value, then that number would change for you. Whatever percentage, whatever the loan to value percentage is that the bank will loan you, that's what number goes right here, okay? So after repair value times 80%, or whatever loan to value rate is, minus, okay, after we've got this number, minus our rehab. What is it going to cost us to rehab this property? I am buying undervalued distressed properties. That's normally where you get the good deals. Can you find some good deals with turnkey properties? Yeah, but you get the great deals when you will buy the homes that nobody else will. Think about it. If you're going around looking for properties and you're looking at nice properties, you're not only having to compete with other investors, but you're competing with the general population because they want to buy those nice properties. And I always say, as investors, we don't really want to be looking for properties that the average person is looking for. Okay, so we, to get great deals, are going to want to find properties that need some love, because that pushes all the average person who doesn't invest, that pushes them out as competition. Okay, number one, they don't want to buy houses like that. They're scared of them. Number two, a traditional bank won't lend for houses like that normally because there's such a problem. And then if you looked at FHA loans and USDA and all that, they're definitely not going to lend to. Okay, so anyways, that's why we factor in rehab, because a lot of the properties that we buy, and if you as an investor or you're going to be an investor, you'll learn this, need rehab. So where do we get this rehab number from? Well, the easiest way to do it is walk the property with multiple contractors. Go out to the property, schedule showings, get your realtor to schedule showings, and go out there with 2-3 different contractors. You can have them all come out at the same time. Creates a little bit of competition and urgency as far as pricing and how quick they can get the job done. Or you can do multiple showings and have them come out, but have them put an itemized quote together telling you, okay, what's this rehab amount going to be? And so after you get 3 different quotes, you're going to have a pretty darn good idea of, okay, it's going to be somewhere in this ballpark of $25,000 to $35,000, right? And we want to err on the higher side because then once you get into rehab, there's always more problems, and that's a video for another day. So after repair value times 80% minus our rehab gives us our purchase price. Boom. Once we plug this formula in, just some little basic math. I know you guys probably feel like you're back in high school or middle school, but just a little basic math allows us to come up with what a purchase price should be that's going to make sure that we're getting a good deal. So what does this look like in reality? Okay, so let's say we got a home that, just for easy math for me, is going to be worth $100,000 after we get it fixed up based on comps, the after repair value. Okay, 100,000 times 80% equals 80,000. All right, 100,000, which is our ARV, times 80%, which is what the bank's going to loan me, equals $80,000. All right. Now we need to go and figure out what's the rehab amount on this property going to be. So we've taken our contractors out, and so we say rehab is going to be $30,000. Okay. So when we plug in $30,000 into our rehab, now we can subtract. We can take 80,000 right here, okay, which is going to be 80% of our ARV, subtract it from our rehab. We take 80,000 minus 30,000, and that gives us our purchase price, our ideal purchase price of $50,000. This tells us for this to be a good deal for us, we need to get this property at $50,000, especially if we're going to utilize the BRRRR method. If you guys don't know what that is, you can go back in previous videos and learn what the BRRRR method is to see why it's important to be able to make sure that we're buying these properties at good prices. And so if you stick to this, whether it be 80% or 70%, 75%, whatever your bank will loan to you, you're going to protect yourself when you're out looking for properties, in the rental space, and making sure that you're getting them undervalued so you will have equity in them when you go to refinance them. Now, quickly, if we are looking for a flip, we want more equity than 80%. My rule of thumb, if I'm doing a fix and flip, okay, think Chip and Joanna Gaines. You're gonna buy a property that's real ugly, you're gonna fix it up, then you're gonna turn around and sell it. You're not gonna keep it as a rental. I will do ARV times 70% minus rehab equals purchase price, all right? Why? This gives us a lot of breathing room, this 70% here. When you're flipping, things have a tendency to go wrong during rehab. Not necessarily wrong, but a lot of times you end up spending more money than you expected. And so if we plug in 70% into that formula, it is going to give you a lot of equity there to be able to say, okay, if something goes wrong, if we have to spend more, if this takes longer, my holding costs are adding up, whatever those may be, we know we got a big padding here by buying this at 70% ARV. And it'll keep you, in theory, it'll keep you from running into a scenario where you could cause yourself a lot of headache and a lot of problem, because if you don't leave yourself enough room to make a profit and you're trying to flip these homes on these real skinny margins, and then it sits and you're having to drop the price and drop the price and drop the price, and next thing you know, you're having to sell it for less than you're in it as. Now we're losing money. So we've just taken a lot of risk to buy this piece of real estate. It's taken us 4 or 5 months to get it ready. Well, now it's been sitting for 5 months, and now we're having to sell it for less than what we have in it. And so now we've taken this loss, and we don't want to do that. We're not in the business of losing money. We're in the business of making money. And so we really want to look for those 70% deals. Well, you say, well, I'm having trouble finding those 70% deals. Well, you need to get creative. Okay, it doesn't, just because you're having trouble finding them doesn't mean the rules change. The rules stay the same. You have to get more savvy and get better at finding those deals. That way you can protect yourself, make a good profit, and everybody makes a lot of money. Hey friends, if this video was helpful for you, go click the subscribe button below, join the fam so that I can let you know when new videos come out, such as tips and tricks like these, and also when we release podcast episodes. Thank you so much. I will see you soon.